Yeah, guys, Darren Stevenson back with another video. You may have heard the announcement last night on the Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading Card Game Europe's Facebook page. They just announced an update for the 2019 season World Qualifying Points FAQ. This is something I particularly am really interested in, and I really want to just have a little read to see what the new update is. To see if I can get my arse into gear and actually try and catch up with everyone else in the world's race. See if it matters as much. So they've apparently updated in the basic information. So here's a new thing. What is the World Qualifying Points Playoffs? Ooh, playoffs. So what is that? Fuck do I know? Let's give a little read. Right, so they've updated this. What are World Qualifying Points? World Qualifying Points are a new way to earn an invite to the 2019 Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading Card Game TCG World Championships. That's something we know already so far. Duelists who earn World Championship Qualifier WCQ invites through the course of 2018 and 2019 organised play season will also earn World Qualifying Points, which award additional invites to the 2019 Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG World Championship through a World Qualifying Points Playoff. So if you didn't know what World Qualifying Points were before this video, they're points that you achieve through getting invites through regionals and Yu-Gi-Oh! Championship Series in an attempt to try and qualify for Worlds, but they've mixed it up this season. So instead of the person with the most points from a particular country, whereas last year it was UK, Italy, Germany and France, the person who had the most points out of those 4 countries would go to Worlds. But now they've introduced something called a World Qualifying Playoff. So to find out more about that, let's read more. So the World Qualifying Points Playoff invites will be awarded to a specific number of duelists who have earned enough World Qualifying Points in the 2018-2019 season to compete in the World Qualifying Points Playoff. So far hasn't really told us anything new other than there's a playoff. So let's read this new bit of information. What is the World Qualifying Points Playoff? Okay. So top performing duelists during the 2018 and 2019 season will be invited to a playoff on the Friday of the WCQ to earn an invite to the 2019 World Championship. The World Qualifying Points Playoff is a single elimination. Jesus Christ, single elimination. So you can advanced constructed tournament. So you can grind all year and then just lose round 1 of this tournament and then you're out. Holy shit. The number of duelists competing in the playoff will depend on the number of duelists in their region. See the chart below. Europe, all countries, 8. So, big changes here. So, this in particular is just something I've been wanting for a while, even someone from the UK. It's just fair that now that all countries in Europe are eligible to go for the Worlds race. Because before, when you had like top performers like Christopher Nielsen from Denmark and Rafael Nevin from the Netherlands, who had insane seasons last year, couldn't even put themselves on the map for the Worlds race because they weren't in the countries that Konami liked the most, I guess. Which seems crazy. But now that's changed, so now that it doesn't matter where you live, anyone from Europe can now go for these can get Worlds points to qualify for this playoff. I heard there was going to be 16, but it looks like only 8 qualify now. Let's just read the example, that'll be easier. So please note that each invite to the playoff will be given to that number of eligible duelists who are present at the respective WCQ. In Europe, the top 8 World Qualifying Points duelists that are present at the European World Championship qualifier at the time of the World Championship playoff, so you have to be there to actually go, will be eligible for the playoff. This means that if one of the top 8 ranked players are not present, the playoff spot will be awarded to 9th ranked player, and so on. Okay, so if you don't attend the event, well, I imagine if you're going for the Worlds race, you will attend the event. It'll be daft not to. So let's try and dig for more information here. So that means 8 people will compete in a playoff, but we don't know yet how many people will qualify through this playoff unless you've read ahead. But I'm going to read that now. How many duelists from each territory will receive a 2019 World Championship invite via World Qualifying Points Playoffs? So the number of invites to the 2019 World Championship awarded to each territory are listed below. So in Europe, the number of invites we will get is 3. So the top 3 duelists from Europe in the World Qualifying Points Playoffs will qualify for the World Championship. So that means there's going to be like an 8-man tournament, single elimination, where you pretty much have to win 2 matches in order to go to Worlds after grinding all year. After I've read this, I'll give my reflection on each section. So let me just move on. I think there's something else new here. Is Europe treated as one territory? Blah, blah, blah. No, okay, blah. There's something about like prizes. Okay, so do I win anything for competing in the playoff? Yes! Exclamation mark. Sounds like a danger. All participants in the playoff will receive VIP status in the WCQ, 2-round buys, assigned seating. Oh, that's good. That's something that Europe didn't really do, which is good that they do that now. That's mostly like, most common like an American thing with the like UDSs, and they do like VIP like regionals and stuff before YCSs. So regardless of their final record in the playoff, they will receive this 2-round buy at the WCQ. And they also receive a super rare copy of the YCS prize card for last season. That's pretty good. I mean, it obviously doesn't pay for like the grind if you were to fail in this qualifier, but like it's still like helpful towards expenditures that you've had to do throughout the year. So it's sort of like some sort of like what's the word, consolation prize that sort of helps with how much you've had to spend. And the super rares come the WCQ are only worth about 150, but I guess it's still something. Like it's better than like just qualifying for this tournament and then just getting nothing. And then I think the rest is just like participants who did not earn one of the invites to the World Championship via the playoff can still play in the WCQ to earn an invite via the WCQ, and the winners of the playoffs can also compete in the WCQ for additional prizes. So even if you qualify for Worlds through this World Qualifying points, you can still enter Euros, and people who didn't qualify for the World Championship through this playoff can also still enter Euros to try and qualify for the World Championship that way. Okay, so let's take a moment to take that in. So what do I think of the playoff initially? I think the playoff is like a good idea. It obviously it's taken a bit long for it to be announced because it's now the 30th of November and we were supposed to get it officially announced the weekend of YCS London, and it's been a month now. But at least that the promises that were made to individual players have been like followed through. I mean, it's obviously better late than never because there's duelists in particular that like from the Netherlands that have already started grinding, some from like other countries outside of like the so-called Big Four from last year that have already started grinding and now have actually something to play for. And I've been speaking to other people that have also been interested in like just grinding now, because now that it's not the first place from each country anymore, it feels like it gives you more of a chance to play, because you don't necessarily have to have the most in your country anymore. Obviously you're competing with all of Europe now, so it makes it a bit more difficult. But bear in mind, only the top 4 go to Worlds, and that was really difficult to do. Whereas now you have to be in the top 8, which is still, mind you, difficult to do because there are some excellent players in Europe. But now, like, there's not as much pressure to get as many points and to maybe not necessarily travel to all the big events. I think maybe you'll still have to do that to try and get into the top 8. But there's no pressure in, like, getting above certain individuals. Like, if 2 people from Germany were going, I think the 2 people in Germany that are in the lead right now is, like, Schmidt, Nico, and Jonas. Can't remember some that come to mind either. And then some in the UK, like Typhoon and Tom Rose, that are competing with each other now. There's no real pressure to outdo each other, which is good. Well, outdo a single individual from that country. Now you just have to outdo whoever's 9th. So that's my initial reaction. That's good. However, 8 seems like maybe not that many, because you only like you go into this like top 8 tournament and you have to win 2 matches, and it seems very unforgiving that it's single elimination. So you have to win the first round or you're out. But if you win the first round and you lose in top 4, then you have, I imagine, since it's 3 invites, a 1st and 4th place playoff, so you get like one more chance, a redemption round, like what used to happen in North America. But it just seems crazy to me that you can do so well all year and then just get unlucky one match. It just seems very poorly constructed. I'm still glad that something like this exists, but it just seems very unforgiving in that regard. I just wish they did some sort of like Swiss tournament between like an X number of players. So that means like you have to play like almost like everyone, and whoever has the most points out of those 8 players. But then like the problem with that is the people who started off really poorly, like go 0-3, are obligated to stay to play everyone else, which isn't fair. And also the players that haven't played those people yet that are 0-3, are they expected to not drop anymore? Are they forced to play even though they've lost their invite to the World Championships? I'm not sure what they could have done, but I think like they could have rewarded like whoever got first place in Europe somehow with something. Like they could have constructed it somehow where like it could have been like 8 people qualify, where 10 or 12 people or X amount qualify, and in this tournament ladder, first and second was somehow in the semis automatically, and then the rest sort of play up to there, and that means first and second only have to win 1 match. So you get rewarded for your standings in the world's points as opposed to first and 8th place, meaning exactly the same thing. But like I say, this is something that obviously had to go through Konami Japan, and I think the changes are going to be little by little every year. I don't think it's going to necessarily happen immediately. They probably have a load of other ideas that they want to do, but I think this probably was the best they could do with such little time constraints that they had, etc. You know, hopefully, like I think it's a good idea. Don't get me wrong. And there's obviously some negatives here, but there's always going to be negatives. And I think this in general is just good. It's one step forward in the right direction to make the World's Race more fair. I just hope next year they just build on this and they just make it better. But I'm really confident they're going to do that because they have done so every year. They have just went out of their way to just make it better, and it's really like good to see. So just to avoid rambling even more, so the one big difference is there's 3 invites now instead of 4. So that could mean a number of things. They could give the extra well, I think that what's most likely is going to happen is they're going to give the 4th invite that was supposed to be for the World's Race back into the European Championships. So that means there's a redemption round after the semi-finals, and there's a 3rd and 4th place playoff, which will be really good for coverage, and it means that playing for 3rd and 4th place means something, which I think is fine. I prefer more invites in the World's Race because it awards people more that have did the grind and have been consistently good all season, as opposed to that one person that did really well at one event. Granted, the European Championships is the hardest event in the year for Europe, but that doesn't like exclude card variants. How like one person that nobody could ever heard of could just qualify by winning Euros randomly, and it's not like it hasn't happened before in like other WCQs. So that's why I think like there should be more invites to Worlds for the world point system. But like, it's cool that there's going to be a 3rd place playoff now for the Worlds invite, and that might be better for people that can't necessarily do the Worlds grind, because like I might be talking from a bias here from somebody who's done the Worlds race before, and not everyone has the job stability or like the time to like do something like that. So it's good that there's an extra invite for the one tournament that they can attend a year to try and get their invite for Worlds. And I imagine losing in the semi-finals is crushing. But I think we're losing anyway, and top cutting Euros will be particularly crushing if your goal is to try and get the Worlds. But moving on to the prize support, I've touched upon this earlier. Yeah, it's good that you've got prize support. It's really cool that like you get VIP status with the 2-round buys and stuff like that. Obviously, they will never like cover the amount of time and money you've had to spend for the World's Race if you don't qualify for Worlds. But that's just a harsh reality of competition. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is not a game that pays you back at all, and that's just something you have to accept if you go for this race. But I think offering a prize card at the very least for those that don't qualify, and even those that do qualify, is good. Another step in the right direction, and it just goes to show that they do understand that it costs a lot of money to do this race, so they're rewarding people somehow, even if they don't qualify for Worlds, which is good. But what do you guys think of all this? What do you think of the prizes that people get in the playoffs? What do you think of them decreasing the number of invites for the World's Race? And what do you think about this whole playoff thing? I personally am quite excited. I'm interested to see how it goes down at Euros. I'm going to be really intrigued to watch it, especially if a lot of my friends qualify for this event, which I'm sure they will because they're all excellent players. But let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Who do you think is going to qualify for Worlds? What's your 3 picks for who's going to qualify through the Worlds points? And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, guys. See you guys later. Hey guys, thanks for watching the video. Be sure to check out more of my content that's hovering around me. Ooh. And also, do you like pretty cards like these? Ooh. we'll get them even cheaper at Jacob's eBay store with promotion coupon, you guessed it, MAXC5. Follow the URL link below in the description, which will take you to his eBay shop, and the offer will already be applied. So just spend over £5 and you'll be given 5% off your next order. So be sure to click the URL and have a check of your store and see if there's any shiny cardboard that you want to purchase for yourself. And for now, here's a picture of my cat sleeping.